My book talk is over the book I'm reading right now called The Final Four. Its author is Paul Volpone. And by the look of this book, you'd think it would just be about basketball and about a basketball game in the Final Four. But it's much more than that. It's sort of a dive into different players and how diverse the sport actually is. We start off the book by going to the perspective of Malcolm McBride. He is a street baller from Detroit, Michigan, who gets offered a scholarship from the Michigan State Spartans. He is an all-around pretty cocky player that kind of expects to be the best player at all times. Due to this thought process, he kind of believes he's the best player on the court at all times, and he tries to take as many shots as he can without really passing to his teammates. This kind of messes up his chemistry on and off the court. The second player we really look into is a dude named Rako Bacic, I believe. He is from Zagreb, Croatia, and if you didn't know, Croatia has a very corrupt government that doesn't let media speak about anything important, and Rako's uncle was a journalist that was killed in a car bombing because he was a journalist that was sort of going after the government and how poor they were, and this kind of fuels his drive to play basketball and become great because him and his uncle would always play basketball. The third player that we are looked into is a dude named Michael Jordan, and it's not the same Michael Jordan as the one everyone's thinking of right now. It's a Michael Jordan that is also from the streets of Michigan, and he's really not as good as a basketball player as Malcolm McBride is, but he's still not half decent. He also gets a scholarship to the Michigan State Spartans, but because of his lack of basketball potential, he is used as a bench player for most of his career. And the last person that we are given a look at is a dude named Crispin Rice, who is from Montpelier, Alabama. And he doesn't have anything special going on with him, except that during the time of this game, he proposed to his girlfriend, so his now fiance, and they go through a rough relationship through college. And Crispin is pretty poor. He doesn't have very much money because, he has to get paid for basketball. And his fiance is very, wealthy because her father has a lot of money, so she's always had wealth in her life. And I forgot to mention that Crispin Rice and Rako Bacic go to school for Troy College. So this game is pretty unique in being a Final Four matchup between the Michigan State Spartans and the Troy Trojans. So it's kind of like the battle between the Trojans and Spartans that we have in hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it's kind of like that, and the fact that one team is expected to lose. This time it's Troy that's expected to lose because the Spartans are overall much better than them, and the game really keeps going into overtimes. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but it is a very thrilling game to watch. And I think this is an overall pretty good book, and I would recommend it.